Now I just wanted to quickly touch on drugs and medications, and to put a message out there for people to be careful about medications. The negative side effects can sometimes, or a lot of the times, and I'm keeping a totally open mind about this and I want you to as well, that sometimes the negative effects can outweigh any good. I'm not saying don't use medications, but I am saying please do your research. I think it's very important to be able to identify the side effects. I'll quickly take you through some of them. But I can only imagine how distressing it is for a person suffering from depression, already known as soul destroying. I mean, we hear people saying all the time that depression is just so soul destroying. So, and then listen to these to add, and the side effects of antidepressants might include dizziness, nervousness, nausea, constipation, headaches, anxiety. I mean, you don't really want, a person with depression actually having more anxiety, not being able to sleep, having strange dreams that's going to wreck your night. Increased sweating, changes in appetite. You might put on weight, or you might lose weight, and you have to identify what you are and aren't happy with. What about decreased sex drive, impotence, or the difficulty to have an orgasm, mood and behaviour changes such as violent outbursts and increased paranoia, and paranoid reactions, becoming more irritable, becoming more agitated, becoming hostile, becoming aggressive, becoming more and more restless, hyperactive in your body and in your mind. They can cause more depression. They can cause psychotic depression, and suicide ideation. And I found that really interesting, that it can seem even more sense to commit suicide. Like, a lot of this just doesn't make sense to me, and I have to say that I did suffer or put up with the consequences of a lot of these side effects. And you don't drink alcohol when you're taking antidepressants. It can increase the negative side effects. So you have to be able to, before committing, my advice is before committing, and I'm saying if you need antidepressants, sure, find the ones that are right for you, but make sure you read the side effects and make sure that, if you suffer from any of these side effects, that you tell your doctor and be very, very honest about it. You have to be, if they make you violent, if they make you angry, if they decrease your sex drive, if they're putting weight on you, if they're causing you to be impotent and not be able to have fulfilling relationships with your partners and everything, tell your psychiatrist or doctor, whoever is prescribing them, because you have to be happy, and you have to keep saying, no, there has to be something different, there has to be something different, or you also take yourself on a journey to find other alternatives. But I'm most definitely saying if you need medication and you identify that, then please do it. But there's all these other things that you can do. So, like just some of these things, they wreck people's self-esteem, and there's nothing probably worse for a depressed man to be able to, to become impotent. I mean, I think that's probably one of the most highest fears of a man, is to become impotent, because it's their manhood and everything, and putting on weight, and that they don't stop suicide attempts. So make sure you ask all those questions, educate yourself as much as you can about these prescribed medications. I think that's all I can probably say on that. I think I've nearly covered everything. Let me look at my last page though, there might be just something. I did, again, I'll just say, be completely honest with your psychiatrist or your psychologist and your doctors about any medication side effects, and try and get them fixed up. And yes, you might have to come off one drug and go on to another drug, but that could very well be worth it for you to get better.